Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Remy. I'm on Rolling in training mode because today I'm bringing you guys the Sword Mini Guide, and it's mainly going to focus on combos. And as I say that, I want to really make sure you guys understand that when you play Sword or a weapon like Sword, a lot of your game plan is just going to be around looking at neutral and what you want to do in neutral to find openings and stuff. So this video isn't really going to help with that much. So you're only getting like 1/3 of the puzzle here. This isn't like my usual guides where I make like the whole in-depth thing and then I analyze play and stuff. So this one's gonna be a little smaller, a little faster, and it's mainly gonna focus on combos. It's mainly tips and tricks in every combo you need to know or worry about when you're playing Sword or playing against Sword, really. And yeah, so that being said, if you're waiting for a bigger Sword guide, you should still watch this. This one's gonna hold you off until then, or maybe until never, because it might not come out knowing me. So yeah, leading up to BCX, which is in, well, all November, but for me it's in the end of the month and Tuesdays and stuff. I'm gonna be releasing a bunch of smaller guides, interesting guides that will help you all. I don't know. Maybe you're not playing, but maybe it'll help you if you are playing for the qualifiers and stuff like that, wherever your region is. So yeah, that's mainly gonna be the focus of these videos, and I'm gonna start it off today right here, as I already stated, with the Sword guide. Now the reason I'm on Sword Roland is because Dex doesn't really matter for Sword, and your reads and combos are mainly gonna be the same no matter what the Dex is, but I want to show you that it's possible for all dexes and speeds, since he's the slowest speed sword, and there's no really low dex sword. They all have about the same like low dex standard, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, if I can hit it on Roland, you should definitely be hitting it on Hattori, Jiro, Jalo, whatever you want to play Bodvar. And I will say that speed, for me at least, does feel a lot better when you do try to hit combos, and it does allow you to position for stuff way easier. But that's honestly just a personal thing or a feeling. I will say that it quite literally does not matter when it comes down to it. You should be hitting these things regardless of your stats, right? I will say that for characters with higher force like Jala and Jiro, they can hit them earlier, mainly because they do more force, so they will be sending further earlier. So something like Roland, where you need to be at 170 damage, 160 damage to hit something like this. Well, I can hit true, but yeah, when you need 160 damage to hit something like this true, Jala's hitting it slightly earlier because he doesn't need to wait for you to get to that damage threshold, right? So like I said, I'm going to start off with strings, and I'll put timestamps in the description just so it's easier for you to find what you're looking for, but this is strings. Well, yeah, this is normal strings, no reads, just average strings. So you have Sidelight, Endlight, Downlight. Endlight, Downlight is something I use a lot because you do hit Endlight a lot and you will catch dodges with Endlight. If you catch a dodge with Endlight, you're in a really good position to just move forward with that Downlight. And like I said, high speed helps you get there faster, but it probably doesn't matter. You're probably going to be hitting it for the same reasons. That being said, if I set the bot here to jump, you will see that it is jumpable. Even with no dodge, right? So if they jump fast enough, a lot of people don't jump it though. So if you do catch a dodge, and into Downlight is a good option to go for. I'm not gonna say it's 100% or you should go for it every time though. And yeah, that's really the only thing you're gonna be getting off Endlight that is special. This is ignoring character related shit. Like, oops, sorry for swearing in a guide, but whatever. This is ignoring character related stuff. Like if I show you Koji right here, this is something you'll see me do a lot in my videos, right? And you hit an Endlight on Koji and you move forward with that end sig. This is better than the Downlight for Koji in specific because it catches the jump that the Downlight doesn't, and it still punishes that same I have no dodge scenario, right? So that's something that you want to keep your eyes out for, things that are specific to your character and that you are looking for because of what BMG is giving you in your set of signatures. But yeah, back to Roland, and now we're gonna look at off Sidelight. That's really the only thing you're gonna be getting off Endlight. At least that's the only thing I ever really look for off Endlight, because I think doing stuff like that is not really worth it. It's too easy to get out of this. You saw how Endlight Downlight was already 5 frames and avoidable, and now you're looking at what Sidelight could be. So unless you have a read, I usually just go for this unless I'm looking for something else, like I've said. That being said, moving into Sidelight, right? That was Downlight, that was Endlight, and now we're gonna look on to Sidelight reads. well, these aren't reads. Sidelight rings. Sorry. So that's Sidelight, as you guys all know, and then you can almost always do Endlight out of it. Dex does matter for this, but not to the point where you care, because it's not true anyway. And then for when it is true, right, for when you can jump out of it and stuff, it's not true anyway, and your Dex isn't going to change anything here, right? You're going to be doing it about the same way each time, no matter what. So yeah. It's also not jumpable, but I'm not doing it fast. It's gonna be a long one, boys, because I was sandbagging super hard. But yeah, so that's gonna be that. You're gonna be getting it no matter what if they have no dodge. So it's really easy to go for, and that's one thing. And then you can also do this. Well, oops. You can also do Sidelight Downlight. Now Sidelight Downlight is weird because I usually save Sidelight Downlight for when they have no dodge, and I want to push forward with the Downlight, because as you get into later healths, right, you're going to realize that Sidelight, even though it's not much force, is something. See that makes it from 3 to 5. I mean from 3 to 5. So it is pushing on slightly away, and it is going to get harder for you to land stuff. So let's say they have no dodge, and you chase forward with this. Now you have them in a really good spot to send off the map, especially on a character like Hattori, which I'll switch to now and show you something cool. Alright, so here's Hattori, and here's her little sword. And this bot is going to have his dodge, actually, and he's going to dodge away from me, which is to the left, right? So you chase forward, and then you chase forward with a dash to keep your dodge as an option, right? So you chase forward with that because you know where he's going to go, and you get the hard read, and it usually will cost a lot, as you can see there. Now, like I said, a lot of characters can do this. Bodvar is another good character to do this with because his Downlight Downsig is also really tight and will send super far, right? So Hattori, Bodvar, even Koji, if you just want to get a double Downlight on any character, really, Downlight and Sig on Jala, all that stuff will work on a chase like that, and it's really useful. So yeah, let's go back to Roland here. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so back to Sir Roland. That's a Sidelight chase you can do off of that punish. And yeah, so what else is interesting? That's Endlight, that's Downlight. So now that's really all I like to do off of just like raw hits off Sidelight. Sidelight is a really good move, but it's also really easy to avoid and punish, right? It's super punishable mainly because it just takes you across. And if something's on the ground, it's going to either out-prioritize you or knock you out of it. So you do be careful with when you use it, but it's not that deep. It's kind of a free move, so don't worry too much. That being said, now we're going to move into reads off Sidelight. And Sidelight is different than Endlight reads because, like I said, Endlight reads, you just kind of do whatever, and then you hope, and maybe he dodges in here and you recovery here, right? There are some really straight Endlight Sidelight options that happen consistently and that you want to look for all the time. And I will set the bot here to dodge into me, right? And I will show you what I mean. This is one that Ethan kind of pushed into tournament more, so you saw it a lot from him, is when you just leave the dodge through after the Sidelight. And that's something that people do a lot. They'll dodge back in. You like to GC it just in case they go high, or like I said, when they're more damaged, they end up higher but not too far. So that means when they end up at 50-ish damage, right? This will send them higher. Oops, sorry. This will send them higher, and you will be able to get it easier. I don't really go for ground pound after it, but at low healths, I'll start at white. Ground pound is really nice. You get the ground pound, and then you can do something like that, and they still can't avoid it. So once again, I'll show you get the ground pound there, even, right? This is a really big one. This is a nice one, but it's hard because you don't GC the Downlight, so it's a bit more risky when trying to get it. So this is this, and then, oops, I'm lacking in sword gameplay. You go for this, and it allows you to do that way easier because you still have your GC. Even for a situation like this, and that would be true instead of doing Downlight, right? But that's less damage, so it doesn't really matter because Downlight's only 2 frames and they have no dodge anyway. So you might as well go for it. There's also stuff like if you can get a true weapon throw, which I can't mainly because I don't practice it. You can weapon throw, pick up. I mean, you can weapon throw an arm Downlight and then pick up your weapon and look for anything on sword will be true. It's really sick. But yeah, that's one thing off Sidelight. There's the other options off Sidelight are usually up dodges, right? So stuff like that. And your main option for this will be either recovery. You continue forward and you dare them. stuff like that. And if they have no dodge, you can honestly, and let's say they're in the air and have no dodge, that's where you just go for a normal Sidelight Stare. That was just an example. Usually, like I said, they will be already in the air. You hit the Sidelight and then you go for Stare. I will show it to you just to be kind, just because I love you guys. And this is what I'm talking about, so yeah. Usually they're more damaged. Sword combos change. I mean, Sidelight is really useful because it changes as the game goes on. So, trying to get a perfect hit here so I can show you what I'm talking about. He's going to take his time to reset because he's jumping. But yeah, so yeah, right here, I'm going to try to do it perfectly. It's hard, but yeah. It's not that difficult, but it's hard when the bot doesn't jump like a human. So like most of these combos you're going to land on people, but the bot is not people. So it's hard to get the perfect lining because he doesn't jump at a jump height where you care. Which is why I wasn't going to show it, but I'm going to try to get it for you guys. It looks pretty much like that. You get the Sidelight at a good height, and then you can go for Stare after. The bot doesn't jump like a human though, and it is fast followable, so people can avoid it if they need to. That being said, set it off to jump. And now we want to look at Downlight, because Sidelight is also a really free move where you can kind of just create your options yourself, as I showed you with the GC Downlight backwards and the recovery and dare. So if you know something is going to happen, Sidelight's a really good move to punish something afterwards. But like I said, I want to move into Downlight, and these are going to be combos. That was the end of strings and reads, and now I'm going to just force combos, right? So when it comes down to it, there's stuff you can do. Oh, just before I jump off, this is Sidelight. I mean, this is Sarah. Oops, this is Sarah and Light, and Sarah and Light does Sarah and Light stuff. It doesn't really matter if they have no dodge. It's 4 frames, so it's kind of addicted to it. It's quicker. I mean, it's tighter on like Koji or something, or Tori. It doesn't really matter, but it's just Sarah and Light. It's not 16 frames, it's 4. But yeah. That's Sarah and Light, and then that also brings me into the recovery. That's also tighter with lower decks, and I don't really like going for it. In a situation like this, I'd go for it. But in the air, it's cool to go for Nair and then try to read the dodge and go for a second Nair, so then you can get a recovery. So if you Nair them, and then Nair them again, it's easier to get a guaranteed recovery rather than having them dodge your first recovery, right? On Koji and Tori them, it's tighter. It doesn't matter though, it's not sure. Now, that being said, we're going to move into Downlight combos. Let's Downlight Nair. I never do that one. I don't know why you would ever do that one. It does the same damage as the rest of them, probably less than Dare. Yeah, it does one less than Dare, and then it sets up the same options, because usually if you're going to go for Downlight Nair, you're looking for juggles anyway. I would recommend going for Downlight Nair, but some people do. I know Boomy likes to talk about it sometimes. He likes Downlight Nair. I don't. I prefer to just do the regular Downlight. But it's cool because you also don't have to jump. It's kind of like, imagine you didn't realize you hit the Downlight, you can go for the Nair, and if they are a bot, they get hit by all of this, but that doesn't usually happen. Obviously, we know our old and fabled Downlight Stare. Downlight Stare doesn't really do much or set up for much. I only use it when I want to push them across the map, and usually off stage, so let's set them to like 90 here. I use Downlight Stare mainly because it sets up for an edge guard, and that is a better situation than to do recovery, because recovery won't kill yet. And Dare is also an option there, and I will show you some Dare things later. Dare is really big, and you'll see a lot of Dare stuff in this video, so that's Downlight Stare. Usually, I will say that I save it for like hugs like this, but even while planning this video, I realized some stuff that I want to look at myself. So yeah, that's Downlight Stare. You use it when you know it's going to kill, or when you want to set up for an edge guard, but don't want to commit to a Downlight recovery yet. I don't think it's really useful on this map because Downlight recovery kills right there, so I wouldn't recommend Downlight Stare on this map in specific. Mammoth Fortress, other maps with high ceilings, Downlight Stare is your friend. Alright. That being said, back to 0. And Downlight Dare, obviously. Now at 0, Downlight Dare is not doing much for you. Oh, before I forget, Downlight Ground Pound is tight. It's usually 1 frame or true, but I'm pretty sure you can get a true. It's not really switch characters. Yeah, that's a true. So you don't even have switch characters, I just need a true. But yeah, Downlight Dare is not going to do much for you. Downlight Inlay is true, don't ever do that, that's kind of troll. But yeah, Downlight Dare is not going to do much for you at white. I usually do it at white just to get a reset off, and I'll show you what I mean by reset right here. So I will set it to dodge down after my Downlight Dare, and Yeah, that's what that's for. So you Downlight there, he dodges down, you can do whatever you want because you know he's gonna dodge down. It's just a good punish, consistency is good for you. Ignore that, that was for fun. But yeah. So Downlight there on white is not much, but as the game goes on, and this is where Sword gets a lot of its combos and strings from. This is where a brunt of it comes in. I like to save a lot of it for this point, right? So I don't know if it's 100 here, but I know I like one past this is definitely gonna work. So here's Downlight GC Unlight, right? And that's 2 frames here. Oops, sorry. That's 2 frames at 100, and at 100, maybe you're not gonna go for it yet because it's 2 frames. That's fine. As the game goes on, it only gets tighter. It's still 2 frames there, and it should be true right here. Yeah, it's definitely true right there, but I'm playing so rolling, so I'm kind of slow on it. Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm definitely freaking washed. But yeah, at this point it should be true, and you can get a true 130, just so I can miss it again, but that was for fun. But yeah, as you can see, that imagine you're not me, imagine you're actually a good player, and you hit it. But that's just the rolling diff. If I was doing it on Hattori, I'd get it every time, because my Hattori is sick. Actually, I'll just do it on Koji, because Koji's fun. I'll put down the thing a bit, and where's Sword? So, here's what Downlight there, and that looks like. It's 1 frame there, before it was 2 on rolling, but you guys have seen me do it on YouTube videos, I mean on regular videos and stuff like that. It's just an option to go for. It is true a lot of the time. Right there is true, for example. So looking to do it, even if it's like looking like 1 frame or anything, is worth doing. And I would recommend you go for it, but only at this HP. Now that's like 120, and it'll do. It does Downlight there is 25 plus the 15 is 30 damage. It's not 30, 29 damage, right? So that's a 29 damage combo that you can be getting at early healths. And if it's 2 frames, so you're probably thinking you should do it when they have no dodge. I wouldn't recommend you do it when they have no dodge, because when they have no dodge, you can do that instead. So keep an eye out for that. If they have no dodge, go for the GC Downlight instead of GC Endlight, and it's just a lot better for you. That's what I would recommend. And you see that kills there at 110 off no dodge. So yeah, back to rolling, so I can continue showing you guys some stuff. That is GC Downlight. I mean, that is GC Endlight. I like that combo. It's fun to do. Yeah, that's true on rolling as well, as you saw there, but I'm missing inputs because I'm just kind of doing it casually. If it was a tournament or a session, I'd be doing it a lot more consistently. Okay, so as you move on, you start getting into even more stuff with there. Gare is, like I said, going to be your best friend here. I think this kills here. Does it? No, 140 is not kill. Okay, so that's fine. This is not going to work at this health, right? That's Downlight Dare Recovery at 150. This is the thing with this map in specific, because you really don't know when stuff is going to start going off the top, right? Like 150 is killing on Downlight Recovery, so you don't really know if you need Downlight Dare Recovery. But let's say we're on Mammoth, you would do Downlight Recovery at this HP. I mean Downlight Dare Recovery at this HP instead of Downlight Recovery. So remember that the maps make a difference. On this map, you're looking for Downlight Dare. On this map, you're just looking for Downlight Recovery, only because it makes no difference for you. And on other maps, you're looking for Downlight Dare Recovery. Now, this combo, Downlight Dare Recovery, and you're going to see Downlight Dare Sarah in a second, is where I like to say that speed matters the most. Speed doesn't do anything. It doesn't make these combos any less true or anything. But you can see how he's getting sent kind of away, right? And it's definitely harder to catch him in that situation on Sir Roland than it is Hattori. And you can see that just because it's easier. It's obviously easier for Hattori to get there, to get the recovery off, right? As you can see, you kind of just gradually, you kind of just glide over to him when you're, you kind of just glide over them when you're playing Hattori. It's so simple, right? And that's just because Hattori has the speed to get there. Sir Roland doesn't have that speed to get there, so it is a bit harder for him to get there. It's still true though, so keep that in your back of your mind. It's still true. You're still gonna be able to get it. On ship, that's banned in tournament, but on ship, Demon Island, Mammoth, and Apocalypse, 150 is true. I'm pretty sure it's true before 150. I swear it's true. Like 140. I get it on Hattori at 140. So But yeah, at this point it's true here, and you want to. I would have gone down on Tori, I'm not controlling. But at this point it's true here, and on other maps you want to do it here so you can get the kill earlier. On here it doesn't matter because Downlight recovery is going to kill itself in 10 more damage, so it doesn't. That's just Brawlhalla even diff. Doesn't really matter for you. Sword is good on Brawlhalla even in general because you get a lot of stuff. Okay, that being said, that's Downlight Air Recovery. Speed helps you hit it easier and more comfortably, but it does not matter. It does not matter. You can still get it most of the time. Another thing that you want to practice with Downlight is centering it. So I'm going to show you Downlight Dare Sair real fast, and then I will show you what I mean. So this is Downlight Dare Sair, starting at 160. At this point, you can be doing Downlight Dare Recovery, but if you do get a bit of extra damage, and I'll show you what to do if you get even more extra damage, but if you get a bit of extra damage, Downlight Dare Sair is something you can look into. Now, if you're better than me, you hit it true first try and not 4 frames, but I am not better than you guys, so it's fine. That's Downlight Dare Sair true. As you can see, it will kill at 160 where recovery, which should already have killed them by now. But let's say you're too late for that. You're not going to be able to get it as easily, but yeah. So that's Downlight Dare Sair. I wouldn't recommend it off this map. As you can see, I'm hitting it and it's killing, but that's only because I'm on Brawlhaven, right? So you would still rather go for this on most other maps, but Downlight Dare Sair looks sick. I really like the way it looks. It looks amazing. Goes both ways, obviously. It's not gonna change based on direction. And yeah. Okay, so even more damage. This is 180. And Downlight Recovery kills, obviously. I'm serious, just Downlight Recovery, it kills, obviously. But let's say you're doing Downlight Dare Recovery. That's not gonna hit anymore. So what I recommend you do is Downlight Dare. And then you do the old fangled. Oops, I'm washed. I never do this one, so. There, you do the old fangled there. It's another one that looks sick. A lot of sword combos I like just because they look cool and not because of practicality. You would never actually want to do this. And this is where I'm talking about, I'm going to explain to you centering. As you guys can see, I'm just rushing these combos. That's why I'm like dropping half of them, right? But let's say you're trying to pay attention and you really do want to hit that, right? You see how I'm missing it? You won't miss it if you center yourself, as I just did there. Now, I'm going to go back so I can show you what that looks like frame by frame. This is a centered there, or at least it tries to be, as close as I need to get, right, while keeping it true. This way it allows me to get everything I need, right? But let's go even further back. This is a dare that is uncentered. I put out the dare really early, and it sends them to the left really hard, and it makes it harder for me to get my combo off, right? But when we compare it to this one, I wait till I'm a bit more above them. And you're going to need to do that a lot. It's way easier with speed. Again, this is why speed feels so nice on sword. It gets you these combos easier, but it probably won't matter for you. Just work on it and you'll be able to center consistently. Like right there, you don't want that. But you do want that if you're going to go for the Sair, right? If you're 160, you do want uncentered, because if you do it to the side, it makes it easier for you to get that Sair. If you do it like this, it's going to be hard for you to get the Sair. Right? But for me, I'm really used to centering my dares anyway. It also helps you with that Downlight Dare Recovery, because now you also don't have to move to get the recovery. And yeah, so besides that, you have Sig's character-specific stuff like Sig's and whatever you need, right? Koji, Downlight, and Sig is true, Hattori, you can get off a dodge, and stuff like that is really useful, so you keep that in mind as well. But yeah, those are the most important ones. Ground Pound can do some stuff for recovery, depending on the HP, not this deep in red. But yeah, you have Downlight Dare Sair, Downlight Dare Recovery, and Downlight Dare Nair are 3 really cool sword options that you can look for. And yeah. Like I said, Dex and stuff doesn't matter for these. I did these all in Sword Rolling. And if you learned a new one or this helped you, just let me know. I will make a actual sword guide like I usually do another time, where we can look at options in neutral and how to actually play the weapon, either just some reason combos for those that need it. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.